Good morning and welcome to Take Your Life Back Today show with me, Ralf Friedrichs. Today I want to touch a topic that's been quite talked about in many years, and that what are the signs of alcoholism? That is today's topic. Like I said, my name is Ralf Friedrichs. I am an addiction recovery coach and a host of the Take Your Life Back Today show. As an addiction recovery coach, let me share this substance abuse and let me be crystal clear. I'd like to leave an everlasting impact upon you all. Imagine being buried alive. Let's say you're in the coffin, but you also know you're not dead. You don't know how to open the coffin and push the enormous weight of the dirt that's upon the lid. You think of giving up, and you just lay there waiting for death to arrive. But you also think of banging on the coffin so that maybe you will unsettle the dirt above the lid, and maybe, just maybe, someone will hear you and dig their way down to help you. That is what it's like to find yourself at the lowest point of alcohol and or drug addiction. You know you need help, you know you can't do it completely on your own, yet you don't know how to get help. In reality, there are people standing right by the grave, but you don't know that. You think you're going to die today, in that coffin, suffocate, alive. No matter how much you bang, no one has heard you. Usually, though, people don't think of death when they're habitually using drugs. In order to feed an addiction, you have to be good at repressing the fear of death. I often ask my audience, did it ever cross your mind before you started abusing drugs and alcohol that you might overdose? With this, I leave you one other thought. Don't be that person in the coffin banging for someone to hear you. Take the first step today and call me at 844-405-HELP here at the Take Your Life Back Today show, and let me help take your life back before your life is gone. Remember, a sober today promises a better tomorrow. All it takes is the commitment, it's the will to admit you have a problem, and the help of your spiritual higher power. Call people like Larry Geis at 516-485-2741, and he will help you take your life back. It takes people to come together like Larry Geis, like myself, to be that bridge between addiction and recovery, so that you can take that walk and you can get all the help and utilize people like Larry and I as a crutch. You can Google Larry at www.odysseyconsultant.org. You can call him at 516-485-2741, and Larry Geis will help you take your life back, but you need to make that first move. And when you call Larry, you let him know that you heard about him on the Take Your Life Back Today show. GlobalEyeglasses.com, they are focused on saving you money, folks. If you need lenses, you need frames, go to www.globaleyeglasses.com. Not only do they sell complete pairs of glasses, but they also have a thing called relensing, where you can take your older frame and send it directly to them and let them relens your frames. Mind you, they have full frames, half frames, and no frames at all, metal and plastic. Their lenses consist of progressives, which is a no-line bifocal, a line bifocal. They have single vision, whether it being for reading or for distance. They have the following lenses. They have transitions, photochromatics, polarized. They have the following coatings: anti-reflecting coating, UV coating, scratch coating, hydrophobic lenses. They have also a lens that's called high index and different indexes, meaning they become thinner the higher the index. They have shatterproof lenses for your children called polycarbonate, all available at globaleyeglasses.com. Let them focus on saving you money. And if you need any help placing your order, I have over 30 years experience in the optometry business. All you have to do is text me at 631-599-0218 or call me on this hotline for the Take Your Life Back Today show, 844-405-HELP, and I will help you pick your glasses. Signs of alcoholism. Here Today, on this video, we talk about some of the typical things to look for if you think that you might know someone with the disease of alcoholism. If your concerns are relating to a co-worker, close friend, or even a family member, even maybe yourself, who might be abusing alcohol, then please watch this video. Here are some of the signs of alcoholism. Alcoholism is also referred to by experts as alcohol dependence, but most experts will make a distinction between the two terms depending on who you talk to. People who have been diagnosed by proper professionals to have alcoholism have little ability to set limits on their drinking once they begin, if any. Alcohol addiction stuns the spiritual, emotional, and mental growth of a person. For the alcoholic, they literally stop wanting to learn or advance themselves on any level other than the one that they already are on. This is why many alcoholics are emotional stunned and are unable to contain their emotions. Many alcoholics believe that once they are sober for a month, they will be cured. Nothing could be further from the truth. An alcoholic is not cured just because they stop drinking. Remember, the drinking for the alcoholic is only the symptom of the underlying problem within him or herself. Total sobriety takes more than abstinence. It takes a spiritual, mental awareness through healing and growth. I have never yet read or heard of anyone or any case where an alcoholic stopped drinking, but then years later they were able to drink one or two drinks to be sociable. Here are the differences between alcoholism and alcohol abuse. It is important to know that there are all people who drink alcohol become alcoholics. Not all people do. Some people are genetically available to become alcoholic because of their family history. Other people use alcohol to become dependent simply because they are trying to change the way they feel because of the following factors: a stressful change in their personal life, a breakup of a relationship, possibly recently, a retirement from a job of many years, some other traumatic experiences in a person's life. With some people, alcoholism will develop very slowly over the years as the person's tolerance to alcohol increases. Let's talk about the signs of alcoholism. Drinking to de-stress. Many people develop a drinking problem because they are trying to relax from work and decrease stress. Alcohol is a sedative drug, and the more a person uses it, the more it takes to feel some effect. It is generally a very slow process that creeps upon a person without any personal really realizing it. Family members always see the signs faster than the person who is using alcohol, and it is probably because the person using alcohol is so in denial. Number 2, repeatedly neglecting responsibilities. Eventually, the effects of alcohol will cause an excessive user to begin neglecting responsibilities in the personal life, at school, or at work. Failing grades in all areas will soon result. Poor performance at work, being reprimanded by the boss, are pretty good indicators as well. Neglecting one's responsibilities over and over again are a solid indicator. Why does this happen? Because of being hung over after a bender. Number 3, alcohol use is in dangerous situations. There are a few situations for us to talk about. Drinking after using prescription medications, against the medical advice of your doctor, operating any kind of machinery after drinking, or drinking and driving and arguing with a spouse that I am okay to drive. That is a very common situation, and a person will get mean and rude with a spouse to prove his or her point, damaging their relationship even further. Number 4, legal problems due to drinking. These would include the following scenarios: getting arrested for drunk driving, drunk and disorderly, getting arrested more than once for fighting, domestic abuse with a spouse, or eventually getting arrested for too many drunk driving convictions and incarcerated for a longer period of time. Continuing to drink despite relationship problems. It comes to a point where a person's drinking, where alcohol begins causing or making small problems become larger with friends, family, and the person will continue to drink and spiral out of control. Typical examples are they that are reported frequently fighting with the family members because they do not like how the person acts when they are drunk, or going out drinking with friends even though the wife or girlfriend asked them not to, and now they are not happy with the situation. Why do people choose alcohol to cope with life? The signs of alcohol abuse may not always become apparent to close family members until the disease has taken a good hold of the individual in question abusing the alcohol. Alcoholics typically hide their alcohol in closets, in their car, under the seats in their car, in the shed, or many other places. In the pre-intervention process, that when intoxicated they become belligerent or bellicose, meaning warlike character. They become aggressively hostile. People choose alcohol to cope with life situations for two reasons, folks. Alcoholism has passed through them via family, genes, and the person is trying to change the way he or she feels. How can we help your family with signs of alcoholism? How can I help you? How can you help your family with signs of alcohol? Myself, Larry, we are professional folks that teach and give you the tools on how to live in sobriety and in recovery. We teach many people, and we would be more than happy to teach you or your family members. All you need to do is get a hold of us. You can get a hold of Larry Geist from the Geist Academy at 516-485-2741. You can get a hold of me at 844-405-HELP. More importantly, Larry or myself can teach you ways to begin to stop the ugly cycle that you are living now and have been for quite some time, I'm sure. Either one of us can help you recognize serious signs of alcoholism very easily. The disease of alcoholism has a certain amount of signs that are common with most people and maybe not as common with others. Folks, if you saw any of these signs within yourselves or people around you, possibly family members, it is time to make the changes today. Let's get the definition of alcoholism. Here, I talked about some of the typical things to look for if you think that you might know someone, including yourself, with the disease of alcoholism. If your concerns are relating to a co-worker, a close friend, a family member, or possibly the person in the mirror that might be abusing alcohol, then please continue watching. Here are some signs of alcoholism. Alcoholism is also referred to by experts as alcohol dependence, but most experts will make a distinction between two terms. Depending on who you talk to, people who have been diagnosed by proper professionals to have alcoholism have little ability to set their limits, drinking once they begin. This was written by Angie Lewis from The Alcoholism Trap. I guess that's a magazine. Quote unquote, alcohol addiction stuns the spiritual, emotional, mental growth of a person. For the alcoholic, they literally stop wanting to learn or advance themselves on any level other than the one they have already are on. This is why many alcoholics are emotionally stunned and are unable to contain their emotions. Many alcoholics believe that once they are sober for a few months, they are cured. Nothing could be further from the truth. An alcoholic is not cured just because they stop drinking. Remember, the drinking for the alcoholic is the only symptom of an underlying issue, problem within him or herself. Total sobriety takes more than abstinence. It takes spiritual and mental awareness through healing and growth. I have never heard yet or read any case where an alcoholic stopped drinking, but then years later was able to go back to drinking just a drink or two to be sociable. Unquote. Angela Lewis from The Alcoholism Trap. Here are the difference between alcoholism and alcohol abuse. It is important to know that not all people who drink alcohol become alcoholics. Some people are genetically available to become alcoholic because of their family history. Other people use alcohol to become dependent simply because they are trying to change the way they feel. Here are some factors why people start drinking. Stressful change in their life, a breakup of a relationship recently, retirement from a job of many years, or some other traumatic experience in a person's life. Let's talk about the signs of alcoholism. I just want to give you the signs. We're not going to go into the definition again, but drinking to de-stress. People just feel, after a long day at work, after a fight with his spouse, after financial issues, that by just drinking they are de-stressing. What they're doing is escaping reality, and when they come off the high, those issues will still be there. They also repeat and repeatedly neglect their responsibilities, whether it's at home, school, or at work. Alcohol use is in dangerous situations when driving a car, flying a plane, climbing mountains, anything that's dangerous. Alcohol should never ever be used. And if you are using it even during those dangerous moments, that's a sure sign of alcoholism. Then suddenly you have legal problems because of alcohol, because of drinking. DWIs, excessive DWIs, incarceration, fighting, domestic abuse, stealing to support your alcohol habit. If you continuously drink despite having relationship problems, you are an alcoholic. Your wife, your husband, your spouse threatens to leave you if you don't stop. So what do? You stop in front of them, but you become a closet drinker. Why do people choose to alcohol to cope? The signs of alcohol abuse may not always become apparent to close family members until the disease has taken a good hold of the individual abusing the alcohol. Alcoholics typically hide their alcohol, but there are two reasons why usually they cope with the substance of alcohol. Alcoholism has passed through them because that's what they inherited. So they feel that they need it. And the other reason is the person is trying to change the way he or she feels. How can people like Larry Geist from the Geist Academy, or myself, or many thousands of other coaches help you? We can teach you ways to begin and stop the ugly cycle of alcoholism. We can help you recognize serious signs of alcoholism easily. The disease of alcoholism has many signs that are common with most people and maybe not so common with others, but we can help you, show you those signs. But it takes you to do the first step. It takes you to get a hold of someone like us. I always say I don't know where you're located. I don't know who's on the other side of this camera. I know who's in front of you, and that's me. A person that for many years abused alcohol, a person that became a closet drinker, a person that almost had everything lost in their life, but a person that finally hit rock bottom and decided to make the changes which I'm asking you to make. And the first change is to stop denying you have a problem. The sooner you do that, the better life is ahead for you. And the second change is to go for guidance and directions to your higher power. There are many ways to deal with alcoholism. Treatment centers, in or outpatient, AA, my method of finding a passion on helping others, because you don't even realize when you help others, you help yourself. These videos are not being made by me so I can see myself. It's to help you. In return, it helps me. Folks, I believe in karma. I believe in paying it forward. I believe that the person on the other side of this camera, other than me, needs help today. And I believe you need to make that first step, and I believe here's a phone number you should call, 844-405-HELP. I am here 24/7, and if you don't feel comfortable speaking to me verbally, you can text me, 631-599-0218. Let me help take your life back. And remember, all these changes that we keep talking about only happen in very small steps. The analogy I want to utilize is when we cross a major road, we look left, we look right, and we take small steps across. I proceed any disease, including alcoholism or drug addiction, like a yellow flashing light at a stop sign. At a traffic light, I should say, a yellow traffic light, which means proceed with caution. Proceed with caution on defeating, on living this disease. Don't expect to jump from alcoholism to recovery in one leap. It'll never happen. You have to put work 24 hours at a time. This is why I'm telling you right now, a sober today promises a better tomorrow. If you stay sober right now during this video, and after this video, and go to bed sober tonight, and then wake up sober tomorrow morning, and continue the cycle, better days are ahead. You'll start seeing signs like better skin. You'll start feeling better. Your eyes become clearer. Your mind becomes clearer. You'll remember things that happened the night before and not have those blackouts. You'll look in your wallet and see some extra money, and you'll notice that next to you is sitting your wife or your husband or your spouse. You'll notice that your children will come up towards you a little bit more. People are not afraid to talk to you because you won't snap anymore. But all these things happen in small steps. Teach your children to say no to drugs and alcohol. Don't let them continue the cycle that you might have been on, that you might have gotten from your parents. And if you start thinking positive, folks, positive things will happen in your life. Eliminate the negativity and things will be better. Always look at a glass as half full, not half empty. And remember, it doesn't matter where you've been. What matters is where you're going. That's what really matters. Folks, I hope to God, no matter where you are, you have the best day today. But I hope and I pray each and every show that no matter where you are, that you have the most sober day, but more importantly, a sober rest of your life. And may God bless you.